Call.
Senator Patrick Leahy of Vermont.
Present.
Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah.
Present.
Senator Max Baucus of Montana.
Present.
Senator Tad Cochran of Mississippi. Senator Tad Cochran of Mississippi. Senator Carl Levin of Michigan. Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut.
Present.
Honorable Senator Mike Lee of Utah.
Present.
Honorable Senator Kelly Ike of New Hampshire.
Present.
Honorable Senator Dean Heller of Nevada. Honorable Senator Brian Scaggs of Hawaii. Honorable Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. Honorable Senator Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin.
From a host of emerging economies. Now it is the right time to talk across the Atlantic and see how we can help each other. And now I'd like to leave the floor for the Honorable Senator Von Wyden for 2 minutes.
That's an order.
Thank you, Honorable President pro tempore. There is a tremendous demand for our goods and services around the world, especially in the EU. We support this agreement because it would give us the ability to feed this demand through American exports, a chance to accelerate our economic recovery from the budget deficit. We support this agreement because as a result of it, the hundreds and thousands of jobs will be available, which will put an end to the unemployment issue. On the other hand, we already have a good trade relations with the EU. So this trade agreement would enhance this relation. So at the end, I urge you people to vote aye for this bill. Vote aye for the sake of the American people. Vote aye for the sake of the people who chose you to present them in the Congress. Thank you, Honorable President, Honorable Pro Tempore.
Thanks to Honorable President pro tempore. I'd like to leave the floor for the Honorable Senator Tommy Dodd for 2 minutes.
That's an order.
Thanks, Honorable President. But first, I'd like to ask you to grant me the full silence in this room. Honorable President, I'd like you please to grant me the full silence in this room because I need the attention of the people.
Honorable Senator, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry, I need the silence. I need the lobbyists to be silent.
Okay, that's an order. Honorable Senators and lobbyists, please maintain silence. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thanks, Honorable President. Honorable Senators, first of all, I'd like to express my grief and sorrow for the betrayal I have witnessed in the preparation of this bill. This man, Senator Max Baucus, is not only a crack. Actually, he sat with Mr. Orrin Hatch against us to write the bill. This was the comedy show of the year. And guess what? To be the man who is right and to make me a crack, he took another crack with him, which is Mr. Von Wyden.
Honorable Senator Angus King, what's your point?
President, please ask the Honorable Senator what is the meaning of a crack.
That's an order, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, being in mind the point has been raised.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. Thanks, Honorable President. A crack, Mr. Agnes, is a Republican who is dressed like a Democrat.
Personal privilege.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President. The Honorable Senator does not go to these measures of respect.
Honorable Senator, that's completely out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable President. By the way, Senator Agnes is right because I cannot respect someone who is a Democrat, but he is a Republican from the inside. You are just too low. So, Honorable Democrats, please, I want the full attention now because all of us will repeat this. Nay! Say nay now! Nay! Say it, people. Say it for the honor of the United States. and say to show that this crack is nothing. Please, honorable cousin, say nay, please. Nay. Thank you.
Honorable senators, please respect the diplomatic decorum. Honorable Senator, have you concluded your speech? Honorable Senator. Okay.
Thanks, Honorable President Pro Tempore.
Okay. And now the floor will be yielded to Honorable Senator.
What you're doing. So,
Point of personal privilege.
For interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President. Please understand the deep dissent because it's music to my
That's in order, Honorable Senator. You may resume your speech. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Next, I would like to ask for a formal apology for calling me an idiot.
Honorable Senator, for formal apologies, please send a note. That's the procedure. Honorable Senator Oren Hatch, you may resume your speech, bearing in mind the point raised by Honorable Senator Angus King.
thanks, Honorable Pro Tempore. So I really like to emphasize on the part of being ignorant and idiotic, as you stated. So once more, I'd like to apologize for Mr.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Next, I would like to tell the Honorable Senator that the bill is dead. Do not
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable Pro Tempore. And I'd like to present my personal apology for Mr. Max Bocas for this inappropriate behavior done by Mr. Tommy Dove. Okay, however, concerning the bill, both parties have agreed on certain criteria that would let the interest of America be above all. Okay, this bill is bipartisan, which concern about the free trade agreement with the European Union. And let me give you a small detail about this bill. This bill is expected, when it's fully implemented, to increase the GDP of America by 4% and decrease the unemployment rate by over than 5%, which is totally magnificent for the American economy.
Beneficial economic relations, the largest in the world, and also the
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator Oren Hatch, I would like to tell you that the 2 minutes you gave for the Senator have elapsed. Would you like to leave the floor for her for the rest of the time? For 1 minute? That's an order.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. So I have to be more quick. So, due to the large trade relations between the EU,
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
the Democrats is against the
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. So, since this bill is full of benefits and it's very obvious that the Democrats are against it,
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's completely out of order and you have just received your first verbal warning.
thank you.
Honorable Senators, there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resume her speech. Please resume your
That
speech.
can make a person who suffered from a memory loss or Alzheimer to regain back his memory. Imagine a bill that could cure cancer and Parkinson and many other diseases. We thought one day they were incurable. This bill is not a dream. The dream has become true. This bill will allow embryonic stem cell research and chimeras. Honorable Senators, I beg you to vote aye on this bill. I urge you to stop the suffering of the American people. Give them a chance to live a better, healthier, and longer lives. This bill is their only hope, so please don't let them down. We need to continue our leadership in scientific discoveries and technological breakthroughs. This is very important for our economic prosperity. Finally, I urge you once again to vote aye on this bill. Please stand beside the American people. Thank you, Honorable President. I would like to leave the floor to Senator Kay Hagan for a period of 2 minutes.
That's an order. Honorable Senator Kay Hagan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Hey everyone, what's up? So basically this is Senator Kay Hagan here, and I'm here to lay on you some funky stuff.
point of personal
So basically we have this
Sorry for
bill.
interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I feel like we are in the street.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order.
Personal privilege.
Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Honorable Senator Oren Hatch, you are amusement destroyed.
Honorable Senator, you are out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. So basically, you guys, we have this bill right here, which like talks about stem cell research. Y'all know what stem cell research is? No? Okay. Basically, are cells that can be converted to anything else. And basically, it means that you won't get sick ever again.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, please maintain silence. Honorable lobbyists, you're making so much noise. Honorable lobbyists, you're making so much noise. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. What I was saying was that if y'all want to be sick, say no to this bill. If you all want to be like healthy and cool.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Please stop the nonsense that's being said.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Basically, you guys, this bill allows for the federal funding of this like super dope thing, and science is like super dope and super cool.
Sorry
Why
for
would you say
interruption,
no?
Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, I didn't give you the floor. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senators, there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resume your speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. My last point is that you guys need to vote yes for this bill because it's super awesome. Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Now I yield the floor to the Honorable Senator Patrick Lee.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable President. I would like now to give the floor to Senator Fatih Murray for a period of 2 minutes.
That's an order. Honorable Senators and lobbyists, please maintain silence. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seats. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seats. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, stem cell research isn't just about science, it's about hope, the hope of millions of Americans who are suffering from diseases such as diabetes, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. You, all of you, Honorable Senators, need to vote aye because we need to be sure that we are exploring every option into curing these debilitating diseases.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Honorable President, I'd like the Honorable Senator to lower down the voice.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, keeping in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. We simply cannot allow potential cures to be slowed down or halted by the political process.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. The Honorable Senator just said sedation. Does that mean that there's no evidence that stem cells are...
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. So vote aye, Honorable Senators, aye for the development of the great USA, and aye for all the people suffering who are waiting for us to take the big leap into the action of curing them. This is the big leap. Take it, Honorable Senators. Thank you. I now yield the floor to Honorable Senator Patrick Lee.
Honorable President, do I have one more minute?
You have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable President. I would like to give the floor to Senator Angus King from Maine. And by the way, he is neither a Democrat nor Republican. He is independent, so we are 100% sure of his impartiality and neutrality.
Honorable Senator, would you yield the floor for the rest of the time?
1 minute and 30 seconds.
That's in order.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore, Honorable Senators. It is a pleasure for me to be here among you. It is my first term in the Senate, and I am an independent senator.
Point of personal privilege.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Please ask the Honorable Senator to define independent.
That's an order. Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I'd like to ask the Honorable Senator Angus to stick to the point he was talking at.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, bearing in mind the first point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Actually, Honorable Senators, this is actually a great point to start my speech. To your primitive minds, independent means that I have no affiliations, neither Republican nor Democrat.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
That's obvious.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech. No more point of personal privileges will be taken until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Please resume your speech, bearing in mind you have 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Honorable fellow Senators, we are gathered here today because we value the sanctity of life. This is really important because the Honorable Republicans claim that they are pro-lifers. We are pro-lifers.
Honorable Senator, I stated that no more point of personal privileges will be taken. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. We are pro-lifers. We value the sanctity of life. And I would like to quote from the quotation of the President Barack Obama when he said that as a man of faith, I believe that we are given the capacity and will to do so responsibly. Concerning the stem cell research, Honorable Senators, stem cells have given us the potential. Potential here means that they have the ability to cure diseases.
Honorable Senator, your time has elapsed. I'm sorry. The floor now will be yielded to the Honorable Senator Chuck Grassley, the Republican leader in the Committee on Judiciary, for 7 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, please pardon my tone, this tone full of grief and sadness, and full of responsibility as well.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
You're taking America down to the deep.
Honorable Senator, that's completely out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Well, pardon my tone full of grief and sadness.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Please help me out. Give me a napkin. I'm really vegetable.
Honorable Senator, that's completely out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. And this tone is full of responsibility as well towards this
Sorry for
country.
interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. I'd like you to ask the Honorable Senator to stop the media show that
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resumes her speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. This responsibility towards this country that granted me a lot, and it's time to pay back. By adopting this bill, you will be allowing scientists to kill your babies for scientific research, to make clones of every single person in this room, and as well to create a new creature with the face of a lion, ears of a donkey, body of a lamb, tail of a mouse, liver of a human, and the kidney of a sheep. This creature is called a chimera, and honorable senators, I'm not kidding. This is what is stated in this bill. I'm asking you senators, are we God? Are you trying to play God? Oh my God.
Honorable Senators, refrain from laughter. Honorable Senators, refrain from laughter. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. I can't believe that my name is written on this bill, but as you know, amendments can do everything. Shame on me. But I'll not stand here like a paralyzed person. We need to stop this massacre. I'm standing here urging you to vote a big fat nay on this bill. And I'm warning you, if this bill was adopted later on in this place, but maybe not the same time, we'll be sitting here, not discussing human rights, not discussing animal rights, but we'll be discussing the new creatures' rights. And I'd like to yield the floor to Honorable Senator Pat Roberts for a period of 1 minute.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper. Honorable Senators, the Honorable Senators of the Democratic Party have been talking so generally. They were talking about the stem cell research. They were never specific. This bill is...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's again out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator Angus King, what's your point?
I would like to give this prepared issue for...
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, that's out of order. And that's the first and last verbal warning. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, bearing in mind that no more point of personal privileges will be taken until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper. Well, it seems like Honorable Senator Michael Bennett always have a problem with heat. Anyway, the Honorable Democrats have been talking all the time generally about stem cells, while this bill is talking specifically about embryonic stem cells. The source of these stem cells...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, I stated that no more point of personal privileges will be taken. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper. The source of these cells are the embryos. Our embryos, the American embryos. Don't risk the future of your sons or daughters who are coming to this world because of such a research that the results is just hypothetical. Hopefully for the patients of diabetes or Parkinson. Okay, these people are suffering, but on the expenses we are going to take the embryonic stem cells for their cure or maybe for hopeful cure. Anyway, Honorable Senators, I urge you to vote nay for the sake of your children and for the sake of all the American children. This bill is going to bring disgrace for our nation. In addition, they want to create other creatures to be, I don't know, rat labs? I don't know. Anyway, these creatures are not going to stay animals as they claim. They are going to introduce human tissues inside. And later on, as the Honorable Senator Chuck Grassley, we are going to be discussing...
Senator, I'd like to announce that your party have 1 minute left.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper. Next time here, we are going to be discussing the rights of these creatures as being humans or maybe semi-humans. So protect our nation. Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper. Now yield the floor to Honorable Senator Chuck Grassley back again.
That's an order.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper. Honorable Senators, history is going to witness this day when I stood here in this place calling you to vote for the truth. Oh my God. Yes, I'm having a heart attack here. Oh my
Sorry
God.
for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
We don't care!
Honorable Senator, that's not in order, and you have just received your last verbal warning.
Point of personal privilege.
What's your point, Honorable Senator?
Thank you, Honorable Senator. I'd like to state that Mr. Chuck Grassley is lying. He said that...
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Please resume your speech. Bearing in mind you have 20 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper. And with the blood of the dead embryos, I stain this bill. Thank you, Honorable Pro-Temper.
Thank you, Honorable Senators. Honorable Senators, please respect the diplomatic decorum. Honorable Senators, you may maintain your seats, please. And lower down your placards. Honorable Senator, you just received your first diplomatic warning. Congratulations. Honorable Senators, I would like to announce the presence of Senator Mike Johanns.
Are you gonna make that complete? Are you gonna make the American children die? I looked in his eye. I know how he was crying. He was afraid. Honorable Senators, a little child afraid of being killed by nuclear Iranian bombs. How can we as senators believe that?
Honorable Senators, refrain from side talks. and laughter.
How can we as
Honorable senators, refrain from side talks and laughter. Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption, and you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, how we as senators can make that happen? How can we as senators make the children cry? How can we as senators make the children afraid of being killed and being tortured by nuclear bombs? I think we as Americans must believe in that. And in this bill, we have reached a bipartisan agreement on intensifying the sanctions in case that the Iranian government has increased its nuclear program and has reached the red line in its nuclear program. And I think that's rational. I think that we all should agree on that. We all should protect our children. We should all protect our people from being killed. We should all protect our wives. Can you believe you are sleeping with wife and a nuclear bomb coming to you and kill you in your bed?
Honorable Senators, refrain from laughter. And Honorable Senator, please refrain from laughter. Honorable Senators, Honorable Senators, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, I'm talking now about you sleeping with your wife in your bed and you find a nuclear bomb coming at your bed. We are afraid, people. We are afraid of being killed. The children are being crying every day. They see the news. They see the Iranian people insulting us and threatening us with being shot by a nuclear bomb. So, we have in the CFR, in the Committee on Foreign Relations, we have reached a bipartisan agreement asking to protect the American people. Democrats, vote aye!
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator Christine Gillibrand,
I'd like to read the
please maintain. Honorable Senator, read the floor. Honorable Senator Christine Gillibrand, please maintain your seat, and you have just received your first diplomatic warning. Your second diplomatic warning, and please leave the room. Honorable Senator Christine, please leave the room. Honorable Senator Christine Gillibrand, please leave the room.
Honorable Senator.
Honorable Senator.
Prostitute! Yeah, prostitute!
Honorable Senators, refrain from side talks and laughter. I will not hesitate to give any amount of diplomatic warnings in order to maintain the diplomatic decorum. Sorry for interruption. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I'd like to say that this senator is very cute.
Honorable Senator Tommy Hidari has just received your second diplomatic warning. Please leave the room. Honorable Senators, maintain silence and refrain from laughter. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Pro Tempore. I'd like to thank the Senator very much, but unfortunately I'm a lesbian woman and I'm not interested. And concerning the topic we're talking about, don't listen to these. These are the real cracks.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. It's the first time I see a woman in a suit.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator! Just remember that we are in a Senate floor. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I'd like to tell the understand that women were
Honorable Senator, that's out of order, and no more point of personal privileges will be taken until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. I've never seen an American Republican Presbyterian wearing a hijab. That's the first thing. Concerning the cracks, these people are the cracks. I, Senator Tammy Baldwin, voted against sanctions in 2006 and in 2009 because I thought that the Green Movement, the revolution, will succeed. But recently, this is not happening. And the only way we can stop a nuclear Iran that's threatening all our allies in the region, the Israelis and the Palestinians living with the Israelis, is to stop this nuclear ambition, this Iranian nuclear ambition. And other than the nuclear ambition, there's the human rights issue that no one's addressing. Iranians are hanging homosexuals, they're persecuting Sunnis, Christians. This is a sick regime that has to fall, and the only way is crippling sanctions that will bring down this Iranian regime and their nuclear ambitions. Concerning these people there, all they want is to go to Iran and have negotiations with a regime that doesn't even want to negotiate, that blocks all measures of negotiations. I want more negotiations more than anything, but that's not happening. The only way is sanctions. And concerning the military resorts here that people are a little bit scared of, they will not happen. These things, because the conditions are too severe and Iran will not dare to cross the United States of America. Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. I'd like to leave the floor to Senator Elizabeth Warren for a period of 1 minute.
Okay, that's the time. That's in order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, my name is Elizabeth Warren. I'm a Democrat Senator.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
You are cracked.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. I'm a Democrat Senator. I want you to pay attention to the bill in front of you because it simply will shape the near future of America. Iran, as we all know, imposes a threat on the United States of America and all the region. Iran...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Can the senator please make her voice louder?
That's in order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech, bearing in mind the point was raised.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Iran is developing its nuclear program very fast. And before we even know it, Iran could have a nuclear bomb. So, I urge you, I repeat, I urge you to vote aye for this bill, for securing our human...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Shame on you.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order, and this is your first verbal warning. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, bearing in mind that no more point of personal privileges will be taken, and bearing in mind you have 15 seconds to conclude your speech.
Thanks, President Pro Tempore. Vote aye for this bill, for securing our homeland security, for the lives of our American citizens. And those ones with placards are the ones who are cracks. Thanks, President Pro Tempore.
Honorable Senator, your time has elapsed. The time of the whole party has elapsed. Yes. Thank you. The time of the whole party has elapsed. Honorable Senator, you have just received your first diplomatic warning.
الباتري خلاص بتموت يا أسامة.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order, and remember that you received your first diplomatic warning from Hawaii. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Iran has posed massive threats on the United States of America for long, especially on our homeland security and the lives of the American citizens. Iran is challenging the international community. It's been turning the deaf ear and the blind eye to the sanctions. Now, as we're negotiating on whether we should vote aye or nay on this bill, Iran is developing its nuclear program. It's advancing it.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? That's in order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech, bearing in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Now, as we're negotiating whether we should vote aye or nay, Iran is developing its nuclear program. It's now capable of enriching uranium faster. According to an IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, Iran has a stockpile of 20% enriched uranium, Thus, it's able to produce 90% uranium required to provide fissile materials for its atomic bomb. What's even more worse is that in January 2011, Iran called the discussions between it and the United States of America and the United Nations disappointing, saying that no further meetings will be planned. For this reason, I urge you, honorable senators, to vote aye for this bill, because if you didn't, maybe...
What's your point? Honorable Senator, you may address me as President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. If you didn't, maybe in the very near future, Iran will throw us a surprise party so we can celebrate with its new nuclear bomb. Now I'd like to yield the floor to my Honorable Senator Mitch McConnell for a period of 2 minutes.
That's in order. Honorable Senator Mitch McConnell, you have the floor for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. After all that fuss going on with the Democratic Party, half of them are cracks, half of them are not. No one knows who exactly are the cracks. I'd like to tell you something in regard to the Democratic Party. Senator Tommy Baldwin here, when we were discussing this bill in the committee, voted no against it. But then she thought about the sanctions imposed on Iran. She thought on the feasibility of the negotiations. And then she listened to the voice of reason and changed her mind.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator James Reinhold, what's your point?
Thank you, President. Can she please repeat, he listened to the voice of what?
Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, being in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore, the voice of wisdom and the voice of reason. However, now, today, I brought a diagram to show you where Iran reached. This is a nuclear bomb. Okay? To develop a nuclear bomb, Iran has to develop low-enriched uranium.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? It's in order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech, being in mind the point.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Low-enriched uranium, medium-enriched uranium, and high-enriched uranium.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I wonder if the Honorable Navy becoming the Netanyahu and this one becoming the
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. There's nothing wrong with using references. However, and high-enriched uranium. Right now...
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Do you know how much Netanyahu was
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Honorable Senator, I didn't yield the floor yet. You may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. And right now, Iran has finished this stage and is well into the second stage. Do you know where red line should be drawn? Right here, before they reach their nuclear bomb. Okay? So, yeah, this bill has a preemptive strike on the nuclear facilities. Just the nuclear facilities, and it's not war. First of all. Second of all, the preemptive strike that you're all so scared of come after negotiations and sanctions, and easing off the sanctions for a period to give Iran a chance to halt its nuclear program. So we're going to give them a chance for one. If they don't respond, we are going to sanction them. If they don't respond, we are going to launch preemptive strikes on their nuclear facilities only. Thank you, Honorable Tempore. I leave the floor back to the Senator.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Honorable Pro Tempore, I would like to yield the floor for the Honorable Senator John Cornine for a period of 2 minutes.
Honorable Senator, you have just 1 minute.
For a period of 1 minute.
That's in order.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Senators. Finally, the Senate has come up with a compromise bill that takes a serious action against...
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable, your point.
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. These are all lies.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. As I was saying, preventing Iran from having nuclear weapons is not optional. Honorable Senator, the bill at hand is the only...
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? That's in order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Fruit Member, Honorable Senators. As I was saying, to prevent Iran from pursuing its nuclear program, only imposing sanctions, aggressive sanctions, and a credible threat of a military action will discourage.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, you are out of order. Honorable Senator, there will not be more point of personal privileges after the Honorable Senator resume his speech. Honorable Senator, resume his speech, bearing in mind that you have 15 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Temper. So the bill at hand needs to pass, and I guarantee, and I swear.
Honorable Senator, I stated that no more point of personal privileges will be taken. Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Temper. And as I was saying, I guarantee and I swear to God that Iran, if that bill passed, Iran would not dare to pursue its nuclear program. Just bear that in mind and vote aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
I would like to refer to the
Honorable Senator, the time of the party was elapsed. Thank you. Honorable Senators of Committee on Foreign Relations, please maintain your seat.
With all Americans having a better chance to live, making our beloved country the perfect place for all of us. No matter who you are, as long as you want to live with us peacefully, you will do. So, those people need a second chance for a better life. So, for the sake of our nation.
Sorry, Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I can't.
Honorable Senator, I need the floor from you. He's talking to me, not you. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. That's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Honorable Lobbyist, you have just received your first diplomatic warning. Actually, dancing is a good thing to do, but outside, not inside the Senate floor. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. So, it is our duty to step up and give those people a better chance to be Americans among us.
Honorable Senator, would you please lower your voice? Honorable Senator, Honorable Senator, I didn't give you the floor yet. Honorable Senator, that's how I know it. Honorable Senator, the train on side doors. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. I conclude my point. So I will leave the floor to Senator Mark for very kind comments.
That's in order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Temper. I'm very sorry to disappoint my party. I'm against this bill 100% because it's against everything that a true democratic should stand for. This is a bill that is requiring us to take money out of our budget, out of our top priorities to build a wall, to build a fence. Are you serious? Is this a dream built on hallucinations? Is this are you on mushrooms and happy pills? What is this? If you are a true democratic and even a proper Republican, you should vote a big fat ass nay. Thank you.
Honorable Senator, please use the appropriate words while speaking.
Thank you. Please vote an N-O. Thank you. I'll give the floor back to Star.
Thank you, Honorable President. I will leave the floor to Senator Schumer for very kind comments.
That's in order.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Temper, Honorable Senators, Honorable fellow crack. U.S. has its cultural differences and diverse identities as a cornerstone of its foundation. We are different. We are all immigrants from the very first beginning of this world.
Sorry for the Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Would you please remind the Honorable Senator that the topic is illegal immigration and not immigration?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Senator, you may address me as President Pro Tempore.
Sorry. Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Sorry, Senator, this is out of order. This will protect people who live, work, and benefit our country in each and every
Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. What about the criminal ones of them?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Sorry, Senator, again, this is out of order. So this.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senators, that's out of order. Honorable Senators, there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resume your speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. This will protect people who live among us, work, and benefit. 12 million people. Are you ready to take this huge number out of your country? There will be a huge economic disaster.
Honorable Senator, I stated that no more further point of personal privileges will be taken.
Thank you.
Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I urge you all today to vote aye, not as an American or a Democrat, but as an American person who wants the greater good for his country. This bill is our next step to having a better and a very good country. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I would like the President Pro Tempore, I would like to yield the floor to my fellow.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. To the general point. Thank you.
Thank you. And now the floor will be to Senator Tom Cooper, State of Oklahoma, the Republican leader in Committee for Homeland Security for 7 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'll be speaking, President Pro Tempore. I'll be speaking about the consequences of what Honorable Senator Tom Carter is speaking about. He's saying that we should select individuals who live among us. I'll tell you which individuals. I will be reading from the present. After being granted their citizenship, individuals shall not face any charges or retribution for their previous actions, which means basically any drug lord coming from Mexico will be granted citizenship after 5 years, which is needed for a legal.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable President, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. And Honorable Senator, since you finished your speech, please maintain your seat. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. This bill is simply a disgrace among us all. A disgrace.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. You people are passive aggressive.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Point of personal privilege.
Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Please ask the Honorable Senator to raise up his voice.
That's in order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech, keeping in mind the order that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. No educated man living in the United States will agree with this bill.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, refrain from side talks. I'm hearing your side talks while I'm sitting right here. So please stop your side talks and respect the diplomatic decorum, and no more point of personal privileges will be taken until the Honorable Senator resume his speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. This bill is just unconstitutional. How can you clear a criminal record of someone? You are a legislative branch, for God's sake, not a judicial branch to clear the criminal record of anyone. So please, I urge you all to vote nay for another reason as well. By this bill, you are granting citizenship to 12 million illegal immigrants.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, I stated that no more point of personal privileges will be taken. Honorable Senator, Tom Cooper, you have just received the first diplomatic warning. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. You are giving the citizenship to 12 million illegal immigrants living among us here. while 20% of them is a criminal, and that's why you're moving the criminal record. You're just simply getting any drug lord, the system.
Sorry for the interruption of the senators. Honorable lobbyists of the International Amnesty have just received your second diplomatic warning. Please leave the floor. Please leave the floor. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Temple. I would like to leave the floor to Senator John McCain for nearly 2 minutes.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable President, Honorable President Pro Tempore, Honorable Senators, I'm John McCain of Arizona. First, these who put our nation at risk made something illogical, which is obtain residence in the U.S.
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. The Senator wants to report.
Would you please ask the Honorable Senator to count from 1 to 10?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order and that's a verbal warning for it. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Member. If you think yourself funny or not, imagine a person wishing to acquire the nationality of the U.S. Would he take the legal path?
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. The Senator wants to report. Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Would he take the legal path, pay a lot of money, wait 5 years, or would he just come illegally, wait a year and require it? The question is, why don't you just hand out the citizenship, pathway citizenship at the borders? Huh?
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. Sorry for the interruption of the Senator wants to report.
Please ask the Honorable Senator to repeat her last statement again.
That's an order. The Senator may resume your speech, being in mind the point that was made.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Imagine a person wishing to acquire the nationality of the U.S. Would he take the legal path, pay a lot of money, wait 5 years, or would he just come illegally, wait a year and require it that easily? The second question.
العام 2009 وقد شهدت بلادنا الكثير من الفشل والحماقة السياسية نتيجة من كان في السلطة والذي نحن بدورنا هذا ندفع أثاره الآن. لذا وهذا قانون الديمقراطيون بالطبع حاولنا في هذا القانون أن نحافظ على بلادنا من أخطار الإرهاب مع الوضع في الاعتبار عدم إرسال أي قوات أخرى إلى أفغانستان وإنهاء الحرب هناك، وأيضا مع دعم باكستان كحليف وشريك في محاربة الإرهاب. أدعوكم جميعا إلى إدراك هذه اللحظة الفارقة، وأدعوكم جميعا وليس كلكم إلى التصويت على هذا القانون.
Honorable Senators and lobbyists at the back, please no talks. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech bearing in mind the point raised.
شكرا سيدي الرئيس، ولكن اعتقد ان هناك بعض فهمه والذي لم يفهم اعتقد ان هو من شرف في هذه الحماقات التي كانت ترتكب في الفتره من 2001 الى 2009.
Honorable Senator, sorry. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Would you please tell the Honorable Senator to respect himself?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator.
Toilet personal privilege.
Honorable Senator, sex bar chambers, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, that problem, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair would like the Honorable Senator to maintain diplomatic decorum in the language.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech bearing in mind the point raised by Senator sex bar chambers.
شكرا سيدي الرئيس، ولكن انا بالفعل نهايه كلمتي والان سوف اعطي الكلمه لعضو كارل ليفن لدقيقه ثانيه.
Thank you, Honorable President, Honorable Senators. لقد كان نشر الديمقراطية وقيم العدالة والحرية والحفاظ على الأمن والسلم العالمي دوما رسالة الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية ودورها التي تطلع به. إنني أتذكر جيدا العهد والالتزام الذي أخذته على نفسي حين دخلت هذا المجلس الموقر.
Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
شير كنت اريد ان اسال عضو التجاره اذا كان يريد اقامه اتفاقيه تجاره حره مع الهند ورفض اقامه تجاره حره مع الاتحاد الاوروبي.
Honorable Senator, you are the order. Honorable Senator, you made his your speech.
Thank you, Mr. President. كما كنت أقول إنني أتذكر هذا العهد والكتاب الذي أتتلوه على نفسي بأن أجعل دائما مصلحة الولايات المتحدة هي الأولى، أن أجعل دائما أمن وسلامة هذه البلاد نصب أعمال. إن هذا مشروع القانون الذي بين أيديكم غير متماسك زي اللي أنتم بتقولوا كده.
Honorable senators, refrain from laughing. Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, please resume your speech.
Thank you, Mr. President. فحين ينص مشروع قانون على إلقاء المساعدات لدولة باكستان، حين ينص مشروع قانون على أن تقوم العمليات السرية التي تنفذها القوات العسكرية للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية.
Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, please resume.
حين ينص مشروع قانون أن العمليات السرية التي تنفذها تكون بالاتفاق وبالتنسيق مع باكستان، حين ينص مشروع قانون أن الغارات التي تنفذها الطائرات بدون طيار تكون بالتنسيق مع دولة باكستان، كل ما ذكرته بالتنسيق مع باكستان التي منعت 45
Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption, but you only have 30 seconds to conclude.
Thank you, President. I'm about to conclude. حين دولة باكستان منعت 45% من المساعدات.
Honorable Senator, you're out of order.
Thank you, President. 45% من المساعدات في دولة مثل باكستان تدعم منظمة طالبان، فإن هذا يعد ضربة من الجنون. في نهاية خطابي دعوني أقتبس قول السيد المسيح في العهد الجديد: لا تظنوا أني جئت لألقي سلاما على الأرض، ما جئت لألقي سلاما بل جئت لألقي سيفا. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. You can go back. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator Bakis, you may resume.
شكرا سيدي رئيس مجلس صفات إقامة للسيناتور جو منشن for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable President.
Honorable President. لقد ملأ الفساد العالم أليس كذلك؟ ولكننا نطالب هذا الفساد نطهره شبرا شبرا.
Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
نطهره شبرا شبرا، دارا دارا، ذنجا ذنجا، فردا فردا، ولكن
Honorable Senators, refrain from laughing. Honorable Senator, please resume.
Thank you, Mr. President. ولكن كيف سنفعل ذلك والجمهور يمتطي النظام؟
Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, you mentioned, please resume your speech.
Thank you, Mr. President. والجمهور يمتطي حصان ويحطم القلاع، يوقف المسيرة ويسبب صداع. وبعد أن ضربها وجلس على القلاع يأتي ويقول سنتعلم بعدها. أين سيأتي هذا البعد؟ أتعلم من أمر هؤلاء الجمهوريون معنا في اللجنة؟ لا أحدهم لا يملك إلا شعر.
Honorable Senator, your minute has elapsed, sir. Give the floor back to your leader.
أعيد القضية إلى أبو
Honorable Senators! Honorable Senators, refrain from laughing and side folks. Honorable Senator Bakisi, please continue your speech. You're only having 1 minute.
Thanks, Honorable President. والآن سوف أعطي الأرضية للعضو الثاني الدولي لدقيقة واحدة.
That's in order.
Thanks, Honorable President.
Honorable Senator Arun Hatch, what's your point?
شكرا حضرتك أنا معترض على هذا العضو.
Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable President. أبقى مشكلة هذه هذا القانون تماما لهذا الرجل المسمى جيمي هناك قائد أتى إلى مجلس الشيوخ وابتدى بيطالب كثيرا لك هذا
Honorable Senator Jim Rich, what's your point?
Thanks, Honorable President. ليس لك الحق أن تتكلم عن غيرك.
Honorable Senator Jim Rich, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, bearing in mind that you only have 20 seconds to conclude.
Thanks, Honorable President. إذا كان أن يسير وراء رجلا كل ما يفعله أن يأخذ الشعر فتسيروا ستذهبوا في الحقيقة برجلكم إلى خرابكم. Thanks to our president.
Thank you, Honorable Senator Jim Rich of Idaho, the Republican leader of the Committee on NISA. Please join the floor for discussion. You're only having 7 minutes.
Thanks, Honorable President. السادة الحضور، وقرت جموعكم ولا وقرت جموع من أراد البلد ببلادكم سوءا. بحوار من طرف واحد غاب عنه الكثيرون من العقلاء وغياب أنصاف العقول.
Honorable Senator, sorry for introduction. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, please resume speech bearing in mind the point raised.
Thanks, Honorable President. بحوار من طرف واحد غاب عنه كثير من العقلاء وغياب أنصاف العقول الموجودة بعد احتساء الجعة وما حدث بعدها.
Honorable Senator Bakisi, Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption. Honorable Senator Bakisi, what's your point?
Thank you, President. ابقى قنبلتنا.
Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator Jim Rich, please resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable President. خرج إليكم ما خرج تسخروا منه. لمن أقدم على ذلك ما شربتم نخبا ولكن شربتم دماء تعجز أمهاتكم عن الإتيان بالإسلام.
Honorable Senators, respect the diplomatic decorum. Honorable Senators, there is no more points of personal preferences are going to be taken during the Senator's speech. Honorable Senator Jim Rich, please resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable President. خرج إليكم ما خرج تسخروا منه لمن أقدم على ذلك ما شربتم نخبا ولكن شربتم دماء تعجز أمهاتكم عن الإتيان بمثلها. فقط خلق انسحاب غير رشيدة وأموال كتف المواطنين تبعثر في بلاد تستفز بلادنا ثم تراقب بأسرع التهديد. كمواطن أمريكي حر يفتقد بلاده معكم أقول إن سار أهلي فالدهر يتبع يشهد خطواتهم ويستمع يكتب عنهم فن البقاء فقد زادوا عليه الكثير وابتدعوا. لو صادف الجمع الموت يقصده فإن الجمع نحو الموت يندفع فيرتبك الموت ولو لثانية والقوم عذر والجيش مبتدع.
Refrain from clapping. This is a diplomatic decorum supposed to be respected. If you can't respect it, kindly leave. Honorable Senator Jim Rich, please resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable President. لن تسمعوا صوتي ولا صرخاتي ما عاد يجدي المصحف بالأموات من منقذي في الحرب عهد خائن أم مجلس للشجب والصيحات. إني سئلت المصحف من كهانها ما بين عهد كاذب وعظات. وطني الذي يوما جرمت بحبه ما زال حلمي قصتي مأساتي. أخيرا المجد للشيطان معبود الرياح من قال لا في وجه من قالوا نعم من علم الإنسان تنسيق العدم.
Honorable Senator Jim Rich. Honorable Senator.
What?
Honorable Senator. You just received your first diplomatic warning for disrespectful diplomatic decorum.
Okay, sorry. I want to give the floor to Mr. MAC'13 for 2 minutes.
Thank you, President. تحية لشعبنا العظيم. تحية لجميع الأعضاء. مشروع القانون الذي أمامكم شاركت وأنا في كتابته ودخلت فيه
Honorable Senator, sorry for introduction. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, our President. وقت نهاية العقدة لسه في فرح شعبي. Thank you.
Honorable Senator, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, please resume your speech.
Thank you, President. تحية لشعبنا العظيم. تحية لجميع الأعضاء. تحية كبيرة أوي.
Honorable Senator, please respect the diplomatic decorum. Honorable Senator, please, what's your point?
شكرا سيادة الرئيس ولكن أريد منديلا.
Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, please resume your speech.
Thank you, President. دخلت في مباحثات كثيرة ومباشرة مع أعضاء الحزب الديمقراطي ووصلنا في هذه المباحثات.
Honorable Senators, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, Secretary Chambers, you're so out of order.
Thank you, Honorable President. هذه التعديلات تراجع الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية بجمعية رسالة.
Honorable Senator, sorry for the interruption. Honorable Senator, and state what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President. أريد أن أقتبس من السنة satisfied chambers.
Honorable Senator, from the point of person privileges is not actually the best. Sorry, you're out of order. Honorable Senator, you made it during speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
The President announced that no more points of person privileges are going to be taken during the Honorable Senator's speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. وكما يقول المثل العربي الشهير الساحل ده هيبوق الليل أبوه.
Honorable Senator, unfortunately your time has left and you just received your President MAC'13. Thank you. Go.
Thanks, Honorable President. And now I give the floor to the...
Honorable Senator, you can't leave the floor to anyone because your whole time has left.
For the senators, please refrain from side talks. Honorable lobbyists, Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Would you please ask Senator Amy to lower down her voice?
That's an order. Honorable Senator may resume his speech, keeping in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Go see an urology expert. Maybe you can solve your the problem areas. Now let's focus on what's important here. Let me enlighten you.
Senator, what's your point? That's an order. Honorable Senator, there will not be further appointed personal privileges of this Honorable Senator resuming his speech. Please resume your speech, keeping in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Now, let me enlighten the blackness of the mind of Mitch McConnell here. I know that he's too dumb, but so let me explain to him. Okay, the mess left by the below-average Bush administration has ruined the image of the United States all over the world. The U.S. has been always an example and a role model of the greatest nation on the earth, spreading peace and caring for the prosperity of the human beings. The ratification of this treaty not only shows the greatness of our nation, but also does serve the foreign policy of the United States, pressuring the North Korean guys to sign the treaty. Now, I agree.
Honorable Senator, I stated that no more appointed personal privileges will be taken. Honorable Senator, may resume his speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I urge you to vote for the ratification of this bill to put the image of the U.S. back to where it belongs and for the future of the coming American generations. Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore, and I leave the floor to the
Honorable Senator, out of order.
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. I'd like to leave the floor to Senator Anthony Schleich.
Please specify the time
for a period of a minute and a half.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, out of order. Honorable Senators, refrain from side talks. Honorable Senators in the front, please refrain from side talks. Honorable lobbyists, please lower your voice. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable President, Honorable Senators. Such an honor to be here. I'll stick to the topic directly. First of all, for me and for the sake of America, saying aye is the perfect decision. Stating some facts in the treaty and replying them. First of all, the CTBT has international monitoring system.
Sorry for the Honorable Senator, what's your point? That's an order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech, keeping in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable President. Such a shame, but it is comprehensive test and treaty. The CTBT includes a monitoring system that bans nuclear testing in countries and make it tougher for the countries to achieve and conduct secret nuclear testing. Besides, and as a reply to this, the NAS has proved during 2012 and 2013 that the U.S. has no more need for nuclear testing. And that's due to Mr. Barack Obama's fiscal support to the nuclear research. during 2012 with 13%, and during 2013.
Sorry for interruption, Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Tempore. Would you please ask the Honorable Senator if she's aware that nuclear research would be no use?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order, and Honorable Senator, your minute and a half has elapsed, and you only have 30 minutes for all your party time.
Thank you, Honorable President. So now, 13% in 2012 and 5% in 2013. It's such an honor for me to say aye for eradication that will curb any future development of nuclear weapons and will help create a nuclear-free world.
Sorry for
Such an honor.
Senator, I can see what's your point. That's in order. Senator is giving the speech, you can the point and raise and then you have 15 seconds to conclude your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Such an honor for me to ratify the city decree.
Senator, I will not take more than 20% privileges. Senator is giving the speech, you might have 10 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And again, such an honor.
Senator may address me as President Pro-Tempore.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro-Tempore. Such an honor for me to ratify the CDBT that will contribute to curb any future development of nuclear weapons and that will help create a nuclear-free world.
Honorable Senator, your time
Say
has
aye for the
elapsed.
sake of America.
Your time has elapsed. Thank you. The floor now will be to Honorable Senator Bob Corker, State Tennessee. The Republican leader is the Committee on Foreign Relations for 7 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Tempore. It's me again. Okay. Our second bill is about ratification of the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty CTBT. This bill wants to ratify the treaty. And this treaty wants to ban the United States of America from developing or advancing.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro-Tempore. We already know what we're here to talk about. Please get to the chase.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order, and Honorable Senator, please be seated. Honorable Senator, please be seated. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, President Pro-Tempore. This treaty wants to ban the United States of America from developing or advancing its nuclear program. Imagine the following.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, what's the point? That's an order, Honorable Senator, please resume your speech, keeping in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, President Pro-Tempore. Imagine the following. After the United States of America has set its magnificent position as the...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senators and lobbyists, please lower your voice. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro-Tempore. After the United States has set this magnificent position for itself as the greatest nation of all nations, then comes a beautiful treaty like this, and which is completely nonsense, and bans the United States of America from developing its nuclear program.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President Pro-Tempore. As usual, the Honorable Bob Corker is elected, maintaining a stockpile of nuclear...
That's out of order. That's out of order. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seats. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seats and maintain silence. Honorable Senator, the floor is not with the Senator yet to raise a point of personal privilege. Honorable lobbyists, please be seated. Honorable lobbyists, please be seated. And honorable lobbyists and senators, please refrain from side talks. Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, privilege.
Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro-Tempore. I would like you please to ask the Honorable Senator to clarify to Senator Klobuchar that actually testing...
Honorable Senator, that's out of order and no more point of personal privilege to reading. I think Honorable Senator resume your speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, President Pro-Tempore. I don't even know how any American citizen actually, so I leave the floor to my honorable senator, James Einhoff, for a minute and 30 seconds.
That's an order. Senator James Einhoff, you have the floor.
Thank you, Senator Croker.
Honorable Senator, may address the President pro tempore.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Thank you. Honorable Senators, please listen. Can you please tell the Senate to listen? Honorable, can you please tell them to listen?
Honorable Senator, you have the mic and you can tell them to listen. You may resume the speech.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry for the rush, Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We're not listening because you're boring.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. And that's a very warning.
Honorable Senator.
Honorable Senator, I didn't hear the floor yet.
Point of personal privilege.
Honorable Senator, I didn't hear the floor yet, so that you can raise the point of personal privilege. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President.
Sorry for the rush, Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Honorable Senator will listen, please.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I wanted to tell you a little story. Last night, I had a dream. And you know who was in that dream?
Sorry for the rush, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. May the Senator get to the point. Thank you.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order.
Point of personal privilege.
Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Yeah, my cousin.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order, and there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. And the people in the back, the lobbyists in the back, please maintain silence. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senate, I had a dream last night. And you know who was in that dream? Jesus. Yes, Jesus. And you know what he said to me? He spoke to me and said,
Honorable Senator, I stated that no more point of personal privilege will be taken. Honorable lobbyists, you are not allowed to raise a point of personal privilege. And I will not hesitate to give you a diplomatic warning again in this session like the previous one. Please respect the diplomatic decorum. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
thank you, Honorable President. Jesus said to me, Jim, my beloved Jim, for the sake of you and your 20 grandchildren and children, and the future of America, make sure this bill does not pass today. He told me, in passing this bill, this would be a national security fraud. I repeat, this bill is a national security fraud.
Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I will now yield the floor to Honorable Senator.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senators, please refrain from side talks. Honorable Senators and lobbyists, I will not resume the floor unless there is a complete silence. Sorry for the interruption again. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. Our schools are a place for education and not for fairy tales. Our government decisions should be based on facts and not on blind faith. Those stoppers want to give our children false science, false history, and false math in the name of God and in the name of religion. They want us to go back to the times of medieval Europe, where the church suppressed any kind of science that opposed the Christian beliefs. They wanted to impose the religious belief on kids at schools, which is totally unconstitutional. But thank God.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Stop lying, stop lying.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank God. Thank God there were good men and women in this Senate to prevent this from happening and to save the future of learning in our country and the future of all humankind. Honorable Senate, let me remind you that our nation is falling behind in both science and math education. That's why, honorable senators, I urge you to vote aye on this bill. I urge you to vote aye for the sake of our children. I urge you to vote aye for a higher and better qualification. Thank you, Honorable President. I would like to give the floor to Senator Nick Durbin for a period of 2 minutes.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, I stand in front of you today to discuss a matter of great importance to the future of science education. I believe that intelligent design shouldn't be taught in public schools. I'm not here to argue whether or not there are gods. I'm not here to argue whether there are holes in the theory of evolution, but rather, I'm here to persuade you that ID has no place in the science classroom. First, intelligent design is just another word for creationism. I feel that intelligent design is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So that's why I urge you to vote in favor of this bill for the sake of a better future for our students and a better educational system. Vote aye, Honorable Senators. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Honorable President, I would like to give the floor to Senator Jodoni for a period of 1 minute.
That's an order. Honorable Senator Jodoni, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, the public of course can have the matter any way they like it, but you people should be aware of what each approach to education implies, and how some of the problems will be if one particular minority scientific or religious theory is brought into the science classrooms of our children. Will they be able to understand the mixture of science and religion? Won't they get confused?
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. So to prevent that from happening, I beg you to vote aye for this bill. Thank you, Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Honorable President, I would like to give the floor to Senator Michael Bennett for a period of 4 minutes.
That's an order. Honorable Senator Michael Bennett, you have the floor.
Senators, here we are again. I'm not going to discuss...
Honorable Senators, sorry for interruption. Honorable Senators and lobbyists, refrain from side talks. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seats. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seats right now. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Well, actually, I'm not going to discuss children and religion again, but I just want you to remind that Americans are the leaders of this world. We are at the top. We are the world's greatest. And we as Americans, especially as Democrats, we will not watch America going backward. If some people have lost their ability to go forward, I'm just here to tell you no. We are about to open a new door of evolution. A new revolution in the science field. Honorable Senators, we're about to say nay. I'd like to congratulate you. You just threw yourself in the garbage, and people who are senators who are about to say aye, I congratulate you more that you are just accepted the destiny invitation to open a new door of evolution. Thank you, Honorable Senators. Honorable President Pro Tempore, I would like to give the floor to the Honorable Senator Bashir.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Honorable President, I would like to give the floor to Senator Angus King for a period of 4 minutes.
Okay, and that's the last minute for you to
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, I would like to share with you this story. In a school, a child came to his mother and told her that in church they told him that.
Sorry, Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Chair. I think our
Honorable Senator will address me as President Pro Tempore.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. I think you're repeating that story more and more. Where's that story?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator Angus King, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. That story is the benefit of your primitive mind. he went home and told his mother that in church they told him.
Sorry for interruption of the senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Please remind the Honorable Senator that we're not here to discuss fiction stories.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator may resume his speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Temple. They told him in church that Prophet Moses has used military bridges and airplanes to secure the people while passing through the White Sea. And his mother told him that absolutely is not the story that they are telling them in churches. He told her that this story makes sense.
Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President Tempore. I'd like to ask the Senator, what do you think about innovation?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, there will not be more point of personal privilege until the Honorable Senator resume his speech. Please resume his speech, bearing in mind you have 35 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable President Temple. He told his mother that this story makes more sense than the original story. That's, I'm saying, because we are forcing people to believe in such beliefs that they don't have to believe in. It doesn't mean that you believe in God, that everyone believes in God. It's your fault that you believe in a supernatural power that controls you and your life, and you pray for Him every day.
Point of personal privilege.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, I stated before that no more point of personal privilege will be taken. Honorable Senator may resume his speech, bearing in mind you have 10 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable President. Finally, as a man of faith, I believe in God, but I believe also that you should not project and force people to believe in God because you do so.
Honorable Senator, your time has elapsed. Thank you. Now the floor will be yielded to Honorable Senator Chuck Grassley.
Vote aye.
Honorable Senator, you have just received the first diplomatic order. The floor now will be yielded to Honorable Chuck Grassley, State Cairo, for a period of 7 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, well, I don't know why the Democratic Party is so frustrated.
Point of personal privilege.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Because you believe in vampires.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Well, Honorable Senator Angus King.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Senator Angus King and any senator from the Democratic Party, please maintain your seats since your speech was finished. Thank you. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Well, I repeat, I don't know actually why the Democratic Party is so frustrated.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
But actually, there's no such a...
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Well, this bill prohibits intelligent design to be taught in schools side by side with evolution theory, considering it creationism in a new disguise.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Stop creating things that is not in the bill.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, there will not be more point of personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Please resume his speech. Please resume his speech.
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. However, it allows teachers to criticize the theory of evolution, mentioning all the flaws of such a theory, and that's what exactly we're looking for. That's pointed at first, and we don't even care whether it's an aye or an nay, it's a bipartisan bill. Thank you, Honorable Tempore. I'd like to yield the floor to Honorable Senator Ted Cruz.
Please specify the time. Please specify the time.
For a period of 1 minute.
That's in order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Honorable Senators, we are looking forward for a better, open-minded, neutral, and unguarded generation.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I like ice cream.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Honorable President Pro Tempore. A generation that knows how to think and criticize. A generation whose intellectual curiosity is fulfilled. Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I would like to give the floor to Honorable Senator Chuck Grassley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Contender. I'd like now to yield the floor to Honorable Senator Dan Fisher for a period of 1 minute.
That's in order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Thanks, Honorable Senators. This bill decides critical points for the new generation. American children have the right
to the introduction of the Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable Contender. American children have the right to learn different views and...
Sorry for the introduction of the Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President. Please note that the most Honorable Senator Debbie Fisher that her makeup is not done well.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senators, refrain from side talks. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable Contender. American children have the right to learn different views and work with their mind to make their own point of views. And also our teachers have the right to freedom of speech. With this bill being adopted, I can guarantee that present students will be future scientists who will make the United States proud of them. And not just the U.S., but the whole world as well. So after we have reached such a compromise with the Democratic Party, and as this bill is bipartisan, I call you all to vote A as this bill to grant a better future for the American children. Thanks, Honorable Contender. I would like to yield the floor for the Honorable Senator Chuck Grayson.
That's in order.
Thank you, Honorable Contender. Now I'd like to yield the floor to Honorable Senator Richard Burr for a period of 1 minute.
That's in order. Honorable Senator Richard Burr, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The Honorable Senator of the Democratic Party came out here and he started the fight.
Sorry for the introduction of the Senator. The Senator, what's your point?
I just need the Honorable Senator to shut up for a minute. I don't like...
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I would like...
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. The Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Contender. Would you please ask the Honorable Senator to raise up his voice?
That's in order. The Senator may resume your speech when you find the one that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The Honorable Senator of the Democratic Party came out here and started a fight for no absolute reason. They are disagreeing for the sake of disagreeing. They don't even know what we're going to say. They thought that we were going to say urgent for name of this bill. Actually, we have no problem with this bill. We couldn't care less about this bill.
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. The Senator, what's your point? I didn't hear you.
I just needed him to shut up again.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order and that's the last verbal warning. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And plus, the not so honorable senators of the Democratic Party, they aren't even creative. They use their points to person publicity irrelevant.
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
I'd like the Honorable Senator to define the word colleague.
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senators, there will not be further pointed personal privileges until the Honorable Senator resume his speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The word created is
Honorable Senator, you may address me as President Contender.
I'm sorry, Honorable Senator, Honorable President Contender. The word created is the exact opposite definition of what you are. You are not creative. You are simply misusing the points of personal privilege for your personal gain. You didn't even know what you're talking about. You came here to disagree for single disagreements. And personally, as a senator, I couldn't give a damn. I couldn't care less about this bill. You can take it, you can leave it, you can vote, you can put it, you can use the toilet paper. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator John Grassley, have you concluded all your speeches?
Well, yes, Honorable Contender. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, may I resume your speech being in mind the point that was raised?
Okay. Thanks, Honorable Contender. I would like to say something which is very important. Accept this bill and you will live in a complete honor. reject this bill and your life was really
Sorry for the
really
Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's an order. Honorable Senator, please resume your speech. Being in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. And just concluded my speech, but I would like to say to the Senate that the future of America is in your hands. Please say aye for the sake of
Sorry for
America.
interruption,
Thank
Honorable
you.
Senator. Have you completed your speech?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Now I will leave the floor to Senator Maria for a period of time, 2 minutes.
That's an order. Honorable Senators and lobbyists, please maintain silence. And honorable ushers and secretariats, please help me in maintaining diplomatic decorum. Honorable Senator Maria Cantwell, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Dear Senators, why do you think theft is prohibited and wrong? Why do you think thieves go to jail? It is all because they take something.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Because they take some things that aren't there in the first place. Dear Senators, your votes should be not involved with money. It should be concerned with the right of
Sorry for
public.
interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Would you please ask the Honorable Senator to lower down his voice a little bit?
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, bearing in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. All of us need to know that votes equal choice, not vote equal money. How can we still
Senator Thomas Carter is calling you to vote nay. Anyways.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Anyways.
Honorable Senator, refrain from laughter. And Honorable Senators, please respect the diplomatic decorum. It is important that every now and then I remind you that we are here in a Senate Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I don't know why Honorable Senator Thomas Carter wants you to vote nay on this bill. Anyways, me personally voting because it is against my
interruption, Honorable Senator. Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator.
Thank you, Honorable President.
Honorable Senator, I didn't give you the floor yet. Honorable Senator Angus King, what's your point? Honorable Senator Angus King, you are out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. This bill contains disclosure.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's completely out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. This bill includes disclosure on super PACs, which we as Republicans are totally against.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. It includes disclosure on foreign lobbying, which wasn't there since the start.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order and no more point of personal privileges will be taken until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Please resume his speech.
Thank you, Honorable President November. If you read the bill, you will see it includes full disclosure on super PACs for over 75%, which is much better than status quo for the Democrats. I don't know why Honorable Senator won't us vote nay. Anyways, I want to leave the floor for Honorable Senator Susan Collins for 2 minutes.
That's in order. Honorable Senator Susan Collins, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. Firstly, it's my honor to be here. I'm Susan Collins, the most honorable Senator Susan Collins. And to make that clear for my colleagues, Senator Susan Collins is a very...
Honorable Senators, refrain from laughter.
Is a very, very...
Honorable Senator, I will yield the floor for you again, yes. Honorable Senator Tom Cooper, I think that as a leader you should respect the diplomatic decorum. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm very, very, very moderate. And through my experience, I'm telling you that this bill is completely a compromise. And saying you have to say aye, and saying nay is completely meaningless. Because it's very compromising. It's the most compromised bill in the history of the U.S. And I think each member...
Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Pro Tempore, who is talking? A donkey from a donkey?
Senator, please respect the diplomatic decorum.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. And I believe that each member in this hall is here because he is a U.S. citizen, not a Democrat or Republican and whatever. And you know what?
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senators and lobbyists, please maintain your seats and maintain silence. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seats. Honorable lobbyists. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you. It's a great bill. It's really logical.
Sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, there will not be more point of first-time privileges until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Please resume his speech, bearing in mind you have only 50 seconds.
Okay, thank you. It is only logical to agree to this bill. This bill allows minorities to be heard and represented in the Senate, as well as it acts also as a barrier to lobbyists who abuse their power. I would also like to remind you that this bill was acclimated by the majority of Democrats in our committee. This bill represents a middle ground between both of us. I hope you say yes to this bill, and thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator Tom Cooper, your time has elapsed. Thank you. And now, since the time of discussion has elapsed,
forward this act. This bill helps to protect our economy, and increasing the spending on the nuclear power will secure the Americans, and it simply doesn't make sense to cut the fund for one of the most cost-effective ways to keep America safe. We wake up, honorable senators, we will never guarantee that we will never have a nuclear war. We must be ready regarding the facts that America must have strong nuclear power to guarantee its safety. Let me be very clear, this bill is important for a safe country and a safe economy.
sorry for the interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senators, I'm waiting to hear complete silence. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Honorable President Pro Tempore, this bill is ready to debate on the Senate floor. I'm here to tell you on the behalf of Montana delegation and myself, it is not going to happen to cut the spending on the nuclear power. Please vote aye for the sake of America and the sake for the safety of your children. And now I'd like to leave the floor for the Honorable Senator Jeff Merkley.
Please,
1 minute.
qualify. That's in order. Honorable Senator Jeff Murphy, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable President. Honorable Senate. Honorable Senate. Honorable Congress. When we put this bill, our priority was the safety of our nation, and at the same time to be independent in the energy field without the need of the damn Middle Eastern oil. And for the breaking news, there is something new in the bill. Our safety regulation would be from the IAEA, which is the Universal Standardized Regulation. And the second thing, no resizing for the old reactors. The new resizing would be demolished. And last thing, no more boiling water reactors, which is pretty unsafe. So please, say aye for the most safe nuclear bill in the history of man. And if you say nay, a lot of things would happen. Slim Shady will be very scared. My cat will feel unsafe. And finally, Michelle and the emotion shall be hurted. So please say aye for this perfect
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
His name is Michael Enzi.
Honorable Senator, you are out of order, and I am President Pro Tempore.
Point of personal privilege.
In order to promote democracy, in order to promote democratic transition in Burma, in order to be the light of hope for those who are not for democracy in Burma, in order to monitor the human rights status, to save those miserable people who suffer in Burma, I urge you all to vote aye for this marvelous bill. Thank you, and I will now give the floor back to the Honorable Senator, Mr. Mendes.
Honorable Senator, I will give the floor for a period of 30 seconds to my fellow senator.
Honorable Senator, please specify the name of the senator. The name of the senator.
Marian Andrew.
The name is Marian Andrew.
That's in order. Honorable Senators, I will now yield the floor to the Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore. This is a chance. Actually, our leader is no longer exact. It's a chance to forget about our partisanship. It's a chance to reconciliate and instead stand on a common ground for the welfare of all American citizens, regardless.
Sorry for interruption. Honorable Senators, please maintain silence. Honorable Senators, please be seated.
It's a chance.
Interruption, Honorable Senator.
Thank you, Honorable President.
Now you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable President. It's a chance to forget about.
Continue.
It's a chance to forget about our partisanship. It's a chance to start reconciliation. It's a chance to stand on a common ground for the sake of the welfare of all American citizens, regardless.
I'm sorry, but your time on the last.
Really?
You only have 30 seconds.
اديله مش لازم كان بسرعة.
Honorable President, I'd like to read the floor to Senator Cass Coons for a period of 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Honorable Senator, that's in order.
Thanks, Honorable President, Honorable Senators. Without wasting your time, this bill is a bipartisan bill that was written after a complete compromise. Don't listen to the cracks in any party who want to fail this great bill. This bill ensures democracy and freedom and tries to protect the human rights in Burma. Finally, I urge you, Honorable Senator, to vote aye for this bill to prevent the massacres in Burma. Thanks, Honorable President.
Honorable President, I'd like to read the floor to Senator Benjamin Cardin for a period of 30 seconds.
Honorable Senator, that's in order.
Thank you, Honorable President, Honorable Senator, Bob Menendez. Well, without wasting your time, my fellow senators, this is a bipartisan bill, and Burma now, as we know, Burma now constitutes a major significance on the international political agenda for the incidents that happened there, and also the media directed its focus in this country, and it's only represented one side of what was happening, and there are many major problems there, political violations like the 2008 Constitution, human rights violations like political prisoners and freedom of religion, problem of refugees like internally displaced people and refugees of Thailand, Bangladesh. Thank you.
Senator Baldwin, this your speech time has left. I'm sorry.
Which means if passed, our constitution will be changed forever.
The motion on the Senator was informed.
What's wrong with changing our constitution to the best?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, may resume his speech.
The bar is proposed to be changed in this constitution.
Sorry for the motion on the Senator was informed.
Thank you. You asked that Honorable Senator to raise his voice.
That's the order. The Senator may resume his speech, being mind the point of the debate.
The bar of
The Senator may address me first.
Thank you, Honorable President. The bar to be changed by this amendment is the 14th Amendment. Of course, the question you ask, what is the 14th Amendment? Simply, the 14th Amendment says that everyone born in the U.S. is a U.S. citizen. It's very clear and very straightforward. What they want to do by this constitutional amendment, that not everyone born in U.S. soil will be a U.S. citizen. They want to deprive the United States of America.
Sorry for the motion on the Senator was informed.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Would you please remind the Honorable Senator that there are 12 million illegal immigrants in the United States?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. That's out of order. The Senator may resume his speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. They want to deprive America from its most valuable and the most powerful weapon, its population.
Sorry for the motion on the Senator was informed.
What about the financial problems?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order and you may maintain your seat. Honorable Senator, there will not be further point of personal privileges and Honorable Senator resume his speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. Honorable Senators, you are being blindfolded. They want to deprive you from one of your most unalienable rights, which is citizenship by birthright. I urge you, Honorable Senator, to vote no on this bill.
Honorable Senator, you are out of order. Honorable Senator may resume his speech.
For you will be the consequences of such a decision. If this bill passes, this will mean that we will create a new generation of slaves. We will create a generation of second-class citizens, a generation of stateless people. Honorable Senators, it has costed us too much blood in the Civil War to get the 14th Amendment in the Constitution. You cannot surrender your right. Now, I think if the founding fathers were alive right now, they would have been ashamed of us. Ashamed that we are surrendering the right they fought for and they died for it. Honorable Senators, I was raised on a notion that all men were created equal, and that the United States of America is the land of equal opportunity. Thank you, Honorable President December. I would like to give the floor to Senator MAC'13 for a period of 1 minute, 2 minutes.
That's the order. The time remaining is 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable President December. Honorable Democrats, Democratic Republicans, the Republican Party are now voting with training portions of the 14th Amendment which guarantees
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. Of the Senators, please respect the diplomatic decorum. Honorable ushers, please help me in maintaining order and rule. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. The Senator was the point.
Please tell the Senator to clarify this, please.
That's in order. The Senator may resume your speech, being in mind the point of debate.
Thank you, President. The Republican Party are now voting on training portions of the 14th Amendment which grants citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States.
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. The Senator was the point. That's in order. The Senator may resume his speech, being in mind the point of debate.
I didn't hear the point.
We will ask you to raise your voice.
Thank you, President. The Republican Party are now voting on training portions of the 14th Amendment which grants citizenship to all persons born and outward naturalized in the United States and subjected.
Sorry for the interruption of the Senator. The Senator was the point. Honorable Senator, you are out of order and no more point of personal privileges will be taken on the Honorable Senator resume his speech. Please resume your speech, being in mind you have 50 seconds.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. The Republican Party are now flirting with changing portions of the 14th Amendment which grants citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subjected to the jurisdiction thereof. And denies citizenship to children born here to illegal immigrants who giving birth between...
Senator, your House of Order, I stated no more points, personal privileges will be taken.
Citizenship is...
Honorable Senator, I'm sorry for the interruption. And you may resume your speech.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Repealing birthright citizenship is a terrible idea. It will unconstitutionally separate rights to a minority that are of the U.S. population. More importantly, ending birthright citizenship will fundamentally change what it means to be an American. I'd like to talk about this point more. The United States is the most beloved country, not only because it's the #1 country in most of the aspects, but also it helps people fulfill their dreams by facilitating their life there. And also fulfilling their David's Bitter's
Senator, your time has elapsed. Thank you.
I would like to say one final thing, that this constitutional amendment does not even work the aim it was written with.
Honorable Senator, your time has elapsed. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Senator, you may maintain your seat.
بتقطعها بقلب قوي يا هاني. مش بقلب قوي كده يا هاني.
Now the floor will be here to the Honorable Senator Chuck Grassley, State Iowa, for 5 minutes.
عدي
Thank you,
سامع
Honorable Senator. Will Honorable
Sorry for
Senator...
interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senators, refrain from side votes. Actually, we will not continue right now except if I hear complete silence in the room. The senators, sorry I get the interruption, and you will resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. Well, Honorable Senators, we're talking today about the American citizenship. The prize and the gift you all have that makes you unique and different from any other individual in the whole world. And every single person would like to take the honor to be an American citizen. What we are facing today is a constitution that was unfortunately misinterpreted, misused, and even abused.
Senator, what's your point?
You deserve an Academy Award for your...
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. Well, granting the American citizenship to every single child born on this holy land, the sacred land, our land, the home of the great, the land of the brave, asking, even if his parents were immigrants, actually, yes. Even if his parents were illegal immigrants, yes. Even if his parents...
Senator David Vicker, if you didn't maintain your seat, I will give you the first and the second diplomatic boarding at once. Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. And even if his parents were terrorists, yes. Even if he will never consider U.S. as a home, yes. Even if he will never turn against, even if he will turn against this country one day, yes. Is that how you appreciate the gift America has granted you? Is that how you pay back? The amendment we are presenting today will stop further manipulation with the American Constitution. Lift the burden off the U.S. Please adopt this amendment. Don't betray America.
What's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Tempore. Our citizenship is not for sale. It will be given for the one with the highest vision.
صوتك طالع.
Honorable Senators, I urge you to vote aye on this constitutional amendment to keep the privilege to those who deserve it. Thank you, Honorable Temper, and I would like to yield the floor to Honorable Senator Mark Kirk for a period of 1 minute.
That's the order of the Senator. You have the floor for 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Senators, the problem is that we are going to talk about today is not about the 14th Amendment of the Constitution as the Senator just said. It's about the illegal immigrants and how they manipulate with our Constitution.
Sorry for interruption, Senator. Honorable lawyers, please maintain your seats. Honorable lawyers, please maintain your seats. Honorable lawyers, please maintain your seats. Honorable ushers, please help me.
على حساب مجنون.
Honorable Senator Tom Cooper, please refrain from side talks. Honorable Senator Tom Cooper, please refrain from side talks.
صفار بكلمك من الماضي، احنا النهارده اخر يوم في الفلور. طبعا انت تبص دلوقتي وحزين يا حسام.
Thank you, Honorable Member. They manipulate our Constitution, our laws, and the constitutional amendment that we are proposing today is for prohibiting this misuse of our Constitution and to make it only for the legal immigrants and the Americans who deserve this nationality.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, what's the point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, that's the last verbal warning. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I just want you to say yes for this constitutional amendment, yes to save America, and yes for our national security. Thank you.
To Honorable Senator Kay Hagan.
That's the last 1 minute left for reporting. That's an order. Honorable Senator Kay Hagan, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Temper.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
That she is a senator of the Democratic Party who stood.
Honorable Senator, you are out of order. Honorable Senator, you are out of order. Honorable Senators, refrain from laughter. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Temper. And yet,
Honorable Senator, you are out of order. No more point of personal privileges will be taken until the Honorable Senator resumes his speech. Please resume your speech.
Thank you so much, Honorable Pro. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, honorable senators, I am in fact a democratic woman of simple American values. I believe like the fellow Americans that have elected me, that what makes...
You are out of order and we just received the first diplomatic order.
That what makes...
Honorable Senator, I didn't yield the floor for you yet. Honorable Senator David Peter, we just received the first diplomatic warning. Honorable Senator David Peter, please maintain silence. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. I believe that what makes Americans themselves is the diversity of their thought and their choices. And even though I am a Democrat, I firmly believe that this is the way to a prosperous future, a prosperous America. Can you pass me?
Honorable Senator, you refrain from laughter. Honorable Senator, you refrain from laughter. Honorable Senator, you have 10 seconds to conclude your speech.
I believe that this constitutional amendment is the way of regaining order and preserving America, the true America, the America that we all deserve and know. Thank you all.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senators, refrain from laughter.
Thank you, Honorable Senator, for concluding our speech.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. And now the floor will be given to Honorable Senator for Casey, Pennsylvania, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. منذ بضعة أيام ذهبت أنا وصديقي السناتور العظيم جون ريتش بعد جلسة استماع في مجلسنا الموقر هذا إلى أحد المطارح في شارع وول ستريت لنتحدث سويا في أمر مهم وهو أمر العراق. وبالفعل وبعد أن احتسينا الشاي بالياسمين وعلى
I don't have to remind you each and every time any senator is having a speech that you should respect the senator who is having that speech and respect the Senate and respect the diplomatic decorum and remember that you are here in a Senate, not in a party. Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, President Pro Tempore. وبالفعل وبعد أن احتسينا الشاي بالياسمين وقرر ظهر الطاولة توصلنا إلى اتفاق بشكل العراق وقد نال هذا الاتفاق إعجاب الجميع بما في ذلك حتى رواد المقهى أنفسهم إذا كنت تتذكر هذا الجيل. نتيجة لهذا ومن فرط الفرحة التي كان بها الجيل خسر جميع الادوار الطويله التي كان يلعبها ولم يدفع الحساب واقتررت انا للحق لذا ادعوكم جميعا بالتصويت بنعم على هذا القانون حتى لا اخسر القانون واكون قد خسرت النقود ايضا بالفعل. Thank you, President Pro Tempore. And now I will yield the floor to Senator Sheldon Whitehouse for 30 seconds.
That's the order of Senator. You have the floor for 30 seconds.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. أيها السادة الأعضاء المختار جمعهم إنه لم يتبعث حضوري أن أتواجد بينكم اليوم لدعم مشروع القانون المقدم بين يديكم والذي يرى توافق الأعضاء المحترمين كبريتش وكيسي كما وضح من قبل إنه التوافق أيها الأعضاء إنه التوافق الذي يجمع بريتش وبوب كيسي على الشاي بالياسمين. إنها حلول الوسط إنه مشروع القانون الذي بين يديكم ونتائج حوارات ونقاشات مطولة للوصول لقضية مشتركة للمقهى المذكور سابقا. فلنخلع اليوم بثيابنا الحزبية ونضع مصالح الولايات المتحدة فوق الجميع. الولايات المتحدة فوق الجميع والولايات المتحدة خط أحمر. أؤكد لكم أن مشروع القانون سيمر بأصواتكم ديمقراطيين وجمهوريين.
Now I will leave the floor to Senator Parker Bookster for 30 seconds.
That's the order of Senator Parker Bookster. You have 30 seconds.
Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Thank you, our senators. عندما تكونوا على حق لا يمكن أن تتطرف دماغك، أما عندما تكونوا على باطل فلا يمكن أن تكون محافظا دماغك. أيها السادة الأعضاء، إن في حياة الأمم والشعوب لحظات يتعين فيها على هؤلاء الذين يتصفون بالحكمة والنظرة الثاقبة أن ينظروا إلى الماضي وما وراءه بتعقيداته وواصله. هؤلاء الذين يتحملون مثلنا تلك المسؤولية الملقاة على عاتقنا هم أول من يجب أن تتوفر لديهم الشجاعة لاتخاذ القرارات المصيرية. يجب أن نترفع جميعا عن جميع صور التعصب وفوق خداع النفس وفوق نظرات التفوق البائية، فمبدأ العين بالعين سيجعل العالم بأسره أعمى. أدعوكم أيها السادة الأعضاء التصويت بنعم لأنه هو الحل الوحيد المتفق عليه. التصويت بنعم لدعم التحول الديمقراطي اللاعوفي ودعم حقوق الإنسان. التصويت بنعم للتخلص من النظم الاستبدادية في سوريا وغيرها من الدول ودعم حكومة العراق. أدعوكم للتصويت بنعم لحفظ الأمن والسلم فالولايات المتحدة كانت وما زالت وستظل هي الحقوق الإنسانية حافلة السلم. Thank you, President Pro Tempore. Thank you,
Senator.
And now I will give the floor to Senator Jane Shaheen for 30 seconds.
That's the order of Senator Jane Shaheen. You have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable President. السادة الأعضاء المحترمين والجمهوريين، إن هدفنا اليوم هو إعلان مصلحة الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية فوق كل شيء. الدولة الولايات المتحدة أربعية والحرية، السعي تحقيق الأمن العالمي والسلام والقضاء على الإرهاب، وعليه فيجب على كل ذي عقل وحرص على مصلحة الولايات المتحدة التصويت بنعم على هذا المشروع الذي يحقق مصالح الولايات المتحدة بخلاف ما يحدث في المشهد العراقي الآن من صراع بين القوى المختلفة من الدعوة وأفراد
الذي جعل العراق أرض خصبة لنمو الجماعات الإرهابية والإرهاب فيها. أيضا بالإضافة إلى تقارب العلاقات بين إيران والعراق في الفترات الأخيرة، الأمر الذي يشكل الأمن القومي للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. يعرفون ذلك أن نطالب بالنعم على هذا القرار. صح أن ندعم العمليات الديمقراطية وأن ندعم العراق اقتصاديا واحتياج النمو مرة أخرى من أجل الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. أرجو نصيب بالنعم على هذا المشروع.
Honourable Senators, refrain from clapping.
And now I will give the floor to Senator Christopher Murphy for service.
That's an order, and that's the last 30 seconds left.
Thanks, our President. كما شاهدنا من قبل انه التوافق بيننا وهو المبني على المصالح المشتركه، وهذه المصالح التي اصبحت الان في خطر بسبب تطور العلاقات الايرانيه العراقيه التي ظهرت وخاصه بعد الثوره السوريه. فموقف العراق هو الذي جمعنا الان، ولذا فاننا نطلب التصويت بنعم لمصالحنا ونتحدى من تلك الخطوة. Thanks, Honourable President.
Thank you, Honourable Senator. Honourable Senator, your time has elapsed. Honourable Senator, your time has elapsed. Thank you, President.
Thanks, Honourable President.
Honourable Senator, I need you the floor to be. And now the floor will be to Honourable Senator Jim Rich for 5 minutes.
Thanks, Honourable President. السادة الأعضاء، كما قدم العضو الكيسي فإنه على نقاط ظهر الطاولة ونغمات وتوزيعات ألحان الشيشة للعضو الموقع ساكسفاي شابتن، والتي كان من شأنها أيقظة سكان وول ستريت، وأحقا ما توصلنا إليه المرة الثامنة بعد الماء حين نسى وضعها على حجر الريبون.
Could you please respect the community code, establish 6 quiet chambers, and use under your bridge?
Okay.
Honourable Senator, I need the floor for you. Honourable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, Honourable President. حينها وجدنا بعض الشخصيات المشهورة هناك أمثال الأخوان شيخ، وكان العضو الكيسي يدرس على ظهر طريقة الديمقراطيين المعتادة، ولكن لسنا نكرههم. لستم بأكفائنا لنكرهكم، وفي عداء الوضيع ما يضعه. أخذكم الله في الحكام فما رأى الورى مثلكم وما سمعوا. أخيرا أود أن أقول كلمة صغيرة. حينما يعتقدون أنهم سيظلون في الحكم ويخلدون فيه، أقول لهم: وضرب مقلاع الطفل في يده دورة صوفي مسه ولع يعلم زمان أن يدور على من ظن أن القوي يمتنع. Thanks, Honourable President.
Honourable Senators, refrain from clapping. Thanks, Honourable Senators. Have you concluded your speech?
Yes.
Thank you, Honourable Senator.
And now I will give the floor to Mr. MAC'13 for 1 minute and a half.
That's an order of the
Secretary. أيها الأعضاء الموقرون الكرام، لقد جئنا اليوم من أجل إعلاء مصلحة دولة الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. لذا فأنا ومن مكاني هذا أحض زملائي أعضاء الكونغرس على تنحية أي مصالح شخصية جانبا. ومن هذا المنطلق أبدأ وأقول إن مشروع القانون المقدم إليكم له محض هراء وعار تماما على الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. أريد أن أريكم الهدي والتخاريف التي وقع بها، حيث ينص المشروع على زيادة المساعدات إلى دولة العراق.
Honourable Senator, that's out of order. Honourable Senator, you may resume your speech.
حيث ينص المشروع على زيادة المساعدات إلى العراق.
Honourable Senator, what's your point? Honourable Senator, that's out of order. Honourable Senator. Honourable Senator, back to me. Honourable Senator, back to me. Honourable Senator, back to me. Refrain from such things. Honourable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you,
So, in introduction of the Senator, what's your point? Honourable Senator, you are allowed to vote here. Honourable Senators, please refrain from laughter. Honorable Senator, there will not be more points of personal preservation and honorable Senator resume speech. Please resume your speech. Bearing in mind you have 30 seconds.
Thank you, President. متى سوف نصل بعين الشفقة إلى المواطن الأمريكي الحاجة؟ إلى متى سوف يتحمل المواطن الأمريكي البسيط أخطاء سياسة الكبار؟ وأخيرا وليس آخرا أريد أن أيقظ الأمريكي داخلكم وأقول لكم أرى حمرة ترعى وتعرف ما تهوى وأسلم جياعا تضمع الظهر.
Honorable Senators, next five champions shall just receive the further diplomatic warning. And I just prevented myself from giving this a second and making you leave the room, but I will not prevent myself for so long time. So please, if you did respect the diplomatic decorum, so especially for you, please from now. Honorable Senators, please refrain from side talks. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech. Bearing in mind you have 15 seconds.
Thank you, President. أرى حمرا ترعى وتعرف ما تهوى وأسلم جياعا تطمع الظهر لا تروى وأشراف قوم لا ينالون بيوتهم وقوم لئام تأكل المن والسلوى قضاء لديان الخلائق سابق وليس على مر القضاء أحد يقوى فمن عرف ظهر الخؤون وصرفه تصبر للبلوى ولمثل الشكوى. وأخيرا أحب أن أحيي إخوتي الجمهوريون وأقول لهم شكوت إلى
leave the room. And the time for the Republicans voting have elapsed. Please maintain your seats.
Thanks,
Please maintain your seats. Thank you.
Order. On the center, lift the roof. 4. You may resume your speech. Address the President first.
Thank you, Honorable President. I know that we are all tired.
Sorry, on the center, they have finished time. What's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President.
On the center, that's in order. On the center, please resume your speech beginning in mind the point raised.
Thank you, Honorable President. I know that we are all tired, so my speech is going to be brief. It's going to be short and brief. Honorable Senators of the United States of America, it's my pleasure to be standing in front of you today.
Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption. Honorable Senator John McCain, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President. Please raise your voice.
Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, please resume your speech bearing in mind the point raised.
Thank you, Honorable President. Honorable Senators of the United States of America, it's my pleasure to stand in front of you today to talk about an important topic, which is China regarding its threats in the
Point of
Asian...
personal privilege.
Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President. Honorable President, the voice in the room is really unbearable.
Honorable Senator, that's in order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. I was talking about threats in the Asian Pacific region and cyber attacks.
Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption. Honorable Senator Susan Collins, you just received your first diplomatic warning. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President. I urge you to vote aye for this bill as it is the best compromise between Democrats and Republicans. And of course, it is best for the American people. Thank you, Honorable Chief. Thank you,
Honorable Senator. You have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable President. I would like to give the floor to Honorable Senator Leader of
Honorable Senator, please order. For 1 minute. Honorable Senator, sorry for interruption. Honorable lobbies. Honorable Senator, you may speak.
Thank you, Honorable President. Honorable President, Honorable Senators, this bill in front of you now is a very good example of how middle ground can be achieved. First, in this bill, we are guaranteeing for the American people the security of their troops in the American military bases near China. China, the country that's threatening our economy, our military bases.
Honorable Senator Thomas Carper, what's your point? Honorable Senator Thomas Carper. Honorable Senator Thomas Carper, I don't think that you want to leave the room right now. So please maintain
and therefore we reinforced our troops there to be able to defend itself if any attack happens, either on them or on any of our allies. Second, in the topic of cybersecurity, we assure that the government and the private sector must work together to address and prevent these cyber attacks towards the U.S., either from China or any other country. And the government must do a better job of presenting.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but your time has elapsed. Your time has elapsed.
Thank you, Honorable President. Please vote aye.
Honorable Senator, you have the floor.
Honorable President, I'd like to use the floor to Honorable Senator
Honorable Senator, that's an order. You only have a minute and 30 seconds, okay?
Thank you, Honorable President. I came here from the Tea Party to deliver a message loud and clear that we are here to take our government back, to take our this weak government, the government that has been weakened for several years, to respond for the action and tourism that has been in our plans for years and years. We are here with this bill. It's a movement, it's a step from the step in many to follow. So vote yes for this bill for your country, and thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, for Ms. Coburn, you have 30 seconds to conclude.
President, I'd like to use the floor to Honorable Senator Kosha.
Honorable Senator, that's an order. Only 30 seconds.
Honorable Senators, I'm not going to tell you anything about this bill, but for the sake of America, Viva Homeland, yes, we reached a bipartisan bill. Yes, we reached the middle ground. Vote yes for this bill. Vote yes, Honorable Senators.
Honorable Senator.
Thank you, Honorable President.
Thank you. Please leave the floor. Go back to your seats. Thank you. After finishing the discussion of this
Our President for Temple. I'd like to ask you to grant me the full silence as I consume.
Honorable Senator, I didn't hear you.
There is too much noise, sir.
That's an order, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senators, please maintain silence. Honorable Senators, please maintain silence. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thanks, Honorable President for Temple. Honorable Senators. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you all for approaching the end of this historical day. I'd like to talk about today's bill. It's a reasonable bill, practical one. The honorable Republicans were crying about the GDP and the deficit. We told them, okay, get the private sector. They said that there might be terroristic attacks from the nuclear waste. Okay, so we said, okay, make it American and put the regulations you want. But some people never change. Some people just fight. And Republicans are just one of them. I'd like also to thank the Honorable President.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator and lobbyists, please maintain silence. Honorable Senator, may resume your speech.
I'd like to thank our President September. I'd like to thank you and thank you, the Honorable President, for the wise moderation of the day. Honorable Senators, I'd like to tell you that this bill was bipartisan. But the Honorable Senator Orrin Hatch, the leader, the wise leader, okay?
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator, what's your point? That's an order, Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, being in mind the point that was raised.
Okay, you're just a good person. Honorable
Senator, you may address the President for Temple.
Thanks, President Temple. The Honorable Senator Orrin Hatch had made a challenge to make this bill die. And I'm telling you that this is a bipartisan bill, and you will lose.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Would you repeat the last sentence?
Honorable Senator, you are talking to me, not to the Honorable Senator.
Would you ask the Honorable Senator to repeat the last sentence?
That's an order, Honorable Senator, may resume your speech, being in mind the point that was raised, and being in mind that you already elapsed the 2 minutes.
Thanks, I'll just finish with the meeting. I'll say that this bill is bipartisan, so vote aye.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Honorable President Pro Tempore. Now I'd like to leave the floor for the Honorable Senator Frank Rothenberg for 2 minutes.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Well, Honorable Senators, our main goal in this bill is not to fall in the same mistakes that we followed in Yucca Mountain. Well, in Yucca Mountain, we choose a full place to build the deposit in the repository in it, which is the permanent disposal, which was a wrong place, and it was chosen by the Department of Energy only. But in this bill, we have made some regulations that will make us, not the Department of Energy only is the one who will choose this place, but we will make some specialists like the Environmental Protection Agency and the state and local community. The state and the local community must agree on the place of the repository. So we will ensure that we will not make the same mistakes that we have made in the Yucca Mountain. And the second thing is that during the time which we built the repository in it, which is a permanent disposal, guess where is the nuclear waste are stored? This nuclear waste are put in the nuclear reactors, which is shut down already. I mean, imagine a nuclear plant which has no license and it's shut down, but it operates only to be like a storage. And this costs the U.S. from 4.5 million to 8 million per each reactor per year, for each reactor per year. So we have agreed, we and the Republican Party, that we will make a temporary storage until the permanent one is filled. And I'd like, at the end of this speech, to say that this bill is bipartisan, and I urge you all to say aye for this bill. Thank you, Honorable Pro Tempore.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you back to MAC'13.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I'd like to leave the floor now for the Honorable Senator Hillary Reid, but before this, you may hear some words from this senator that may be not so pleasant, so use your mind a little bit and...
Honorable Senator, you have 30 seconds.
Okay. I'd like to leave the floor now for the Honorable Senator Hillary Reid for the rest of the time.
That's an order. Honorable Senators, maintain silence. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech. Bearing in mind you have 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore, Honorable President Pro Tempore, Honorable Senate. I have just made it clear yesterday to the Honorable Ladies and to the Honorable Gentlemen of the Republican Party, the Committee of Finance.
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Ask Honorable Senator to repeat the last word.
That's an order, Honorable Senator. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seat at the back. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seat at the back. Honorable lobbyists, please maintain your seat at the back. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I have just said that I have just made it clear yesterday to the Honorable Ladies and to the Honorable Gentlemen of the Republican Party in the Committee of Finance that I, as Harry, the leader of the Democrat Party, will not tolerate with any bill not mentioning explicitly the...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. Can you please ask the Honorable Senator why he's speaking in a British accent when he's American?
Honorable Senator, that's out of order. Honorable Senator, you resume your speech. Bearing in mind you have 10 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I would like to reply...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point? Honorable Senator, that's out of order. No more point of personal privileges will be taken. Honorable Senator, you have 8 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore. I would like to say eventually, for those who would love that Yucca mountainside for nuclear waste it shall stay open, I have only one thing to say. You waste yourself if you want to. I am not turning for it.
Honorable Senator, your time has elapsed. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable President Pro Tempore.
And now the floor will be here to Honorable Senator Orrin Hatch, State of Utah, for 5 minutes.
Thanks, Honorable Pro Tempore. Okay, Honorable Senators, apparently you are having a really long day. So I like to just finalize this day with the quick bill that currently with a dead end because both parties have just agreed on it. So I'll just yield the floor for Senator John Thune for 1 minute. Thanks, Honorable President.
That's an order. John Thune, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Thanks, Honorable President Kemper. I'm just going to talk so fast, but I would like to say that this bill is a bill that favors all the American citizens in a lot of ways. First of all, this bill determines the permanent disposal for the nuclear waste. And also, it enables us to get rid of waste in decentralized disposal waste storage, then we find a permanent storage facility. And actually, this bill is going to favor the American citizens and help them and protect them from the dangers of the radiations of those wastes. So what I would like to say that this bill is a bipartisan bill, and it actually benefits the American citizens in a lot of ways. So please, honorable senators, everyone in here, use your mind, and please, vote out for this bill. Thanks, Honorable President.
Thanks, Honorable Senator. You have the floor.
Thanks, Honorable Pro Temper. Now I will yield the floor for Senator John Wicker for 1 minute.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Thank you, President Pro Temper. Honorable Senators, in order to be quick, this bill is definitely for our state. We're not going to look for any place just for the disposal of the spent fuel, but we'll look for lots of states to choose a suitable geological site. And the point that will motivate you to vote in Big A, I will have a unified agency that will assure the creation of the reactors under regulations from the government, but also created and built by the private sector as they are more specialized, and this will make us avoid the loss the government was responsible for in the Yukon Mountains. And I, that you care for the will prove that you care for the sake of America. And they will prove...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Thanks, Honorable President Pro Temper. Could you ask the Honorable Senator to repeat the last sentence in a louder voice?
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, being in mind the point that was raised.
And I will prove that you care for the sake of America. And they will prove how arrogant and careless you are for the America's sake. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Okay, and thanks, Honorable Pro Temper. 1 more minute for Honorable Senator Dan Heller.
That's an order. Honorable Senator Dan Heller, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Thank you, President Pro Temper. Thank you, Honorable Senators. Just we all know how much nuclear waste could harm us, our people, and our nation. And for years, it was a disaster for us. And it may be until this bill is passed, it won't be any more disaster. This passed is demanding a solution, a quick solution for this waste. It just demands a quick solution, which is a centralized storage, which may be a temporary solution, but along with this, it will provide a permanent place just be found at the disposal within just 2 years after passing this bill. Remember that after that, will these problems continue?
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
Member, would you please ask the Honorable Senator to raise your voice?
That's an order. Honorable Senator, please resume your speech, being in mind the point that was raised.
Thank you, Honorable Pro Temper. At last, I want to remind you, Republican or Democrat, that it would be more damaging and more costly the longer this problem continues. Vote aye for the sake of our nation and for the future. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Senator.
Honorable Pro Temper, do I have a minute?
You have 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, in those 30 seconds, I'd like you, all of you, just simply, as it is a bipartisan bill, get your placard. When the voting time, raise it as yes. Simple, clear, thanks for the...
Sorry for interruption, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senator, what's your point?
The Honorable Senator to emphasize this point.
That's an order. Honorable Senator, you may resume your speech, being in mind the point that was raised.
Thanks, Honorable Pro Temper. In the end, I'd like to thank the High Board of the Committee on Finance and the High Board of MAC, Model American of Congress. Thanks, Honorable Pro Temper. Thanks, Honorable Senator.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Honorable Senators in favor for this bill, please say aye. Aye. Honorable Senators against this bill, please say nay. Honorable Senators against this bill, please say nay. Hearing ayes and nays, we are having an official voting procedure with placards. Honorable senators, in favor for this bill, please raise your placards high and keep them high. Honorable senators, in favor for this bill, please raise your placards high and keep them high. Please maintain silence. Okay, honorable senators, against this bill, please raise your placards high and keep them high. Honorable senator, against this bill, raise your placards high and keep them high. Senators abstaining, please raise your placards high and keep them high. Honorable senators abstaining, please raise your placards high and keep them high. With 82 ayes and 1 nay, this bill clearly passed. Honorable senators, please maintain silence. Honorable senators, please maintain silence. Honorable senators, please maintain silence. We will now proceed our floor with the bill. Oh, there is no bill. Honorable Senator Angus-King. Honorable Senator Angus-King, what's the point? Honorable Senator Angus-King, what's the point?
Raise a motion to suspend this meeting for the next year.
Honorable senators, there is a motion on the floor to suspend the meeting.
He's out of order. He's out of order.
Honorable senators, there is a motion on the floor to adjourn this meeting for the next year, and it's not recommended by the President pro tempore or the President. Honorable senators, in favor for this motion, please say aye. Honorable senators, against this motion, please say nay.
Roll call. Roll call. Roll call.
This meeting is adjourned to the next year. I would like just to say a short statement. I would like to congratulate you all on becoming complete Americans. As I told you before, the conference, we finished the conference like anything else, but the journey of MAC has no end. The journey of MAC will continue with you for the whole life. You gained a lot from this conference. You gained a lot of experience, you gained a lot of friends that you will not lose. And I would like to say that next year, I will not be here, Mariam will not be here, and the secretaries will not be standing here. And the people who will be standing instead of us will be people from you, honorable Americans, that will continue the journey of MAC and will add to the value of this year and the previous years. And I'm sure that when I visit the conference of MAC'13, it will be as special as you were this year. So I would like to thank you all for this awesome conference, and I'm sure that people from you will hold the responsibility and the value of that model for the next year. And the final thing, I would like to, just one final thing, I would like to thank each and everybody who worked in this conference, from the organizing committee and the academic committee. And I would like to thank the coordination for having that effort in this conference, and especially the head of coordination, Mariam Muhammad, and especially all the team members, Hassan, Sharif, Salah, Karim, and Maha, and Alina, and Nahla, and Maha, and a very special set of thanks to the head assistant, Nisma Abdelbari. I just one more minute to thank Ahmad Tariq for making this program tonight. Thank you also Ahmad Tariq for being my chairman in MAC'11, with Nohali Amani, the voice, and with Abdul Salam Driving, and with Maria Tariq, who is the party consultant. And I would like to thank all the